I'm back with another Twerk and Work tarot practice. So today is Thursday, September 11th, 2025. Why was I about to say 2021? If you are new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back, bro. I missed you. This channel is to uplift and inspire my legends through intuition, tarot, and combos. So if you're interested in any of those things, please make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any new videos. Super side note, I really should have put on a bra. And if my titty pop out, I'm stopping the live. I'm stopping the live. But yeah, so okay, it's fucking work. I don't have any like cards in mind to do beforehand. So I'm gonna just pick a deck, we're gonna shuffle, and we're gonna see what we get, and we're gonna talk about that card today. So let's get into it. Yeah. Using the Tarot of the Divine. What card is highest aligned with me and my legends today? Looks like the Strength. Oh, the Fool. We've definitely done the Fool before. But that's not what I asked. I asked what is highest aligned with me and my legends. We're pulling the Fool. So the Fool card off top is a card. First of all, it's the first card in the major arcana. It indicates new beginnings and it also indicates endings. It's the card number 0. What do I know about the Fool? New beginnings, endings, being maybe foolish, a little reckless, a little what's the word I'm looking for? I want to use the word spontaneous, like yeah, spontaneous, taking risk, like big risk, high reward. I think I did a video on that before. What else do I get with the Fool? That's pretty much it. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, that's pretty much it. Like, new beginnings. Every time I see the Fool, I'm like, new beginnings. Something starting over, or something is ending. And no, something is starting over and something is ending. In this particular depiction, it's like a woman, and she looks like this woman always gives me like Ariel vibes from The Little Mermaid, where she went from being a mermaid, like a siren type shit, to a human and not really being able to communicate. But that's a different story. But in this particular depiction, that like the idea is going from one life to another, going from one place to another, like. And then at the bottom of the deck, just for shits and giggles, the Death card, and that's also a card of like transformation. But this okay, the Death card is more of a transformation, and then this is like the beginning and the end of the transformation, if that makes sense. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's see what else new can we learn about the Fool card, because I feel like I should know more, but I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. Let me see the Fool tarot guide. And then if you are joining, let me know what you think of the Fool card, like, or you know, what ideas that you have, and if you have any specific ways of seeing this particular depiction of the Fool, don't hesitate to share that in the comments. All right, so the upright meaning of the Fool is innocence, freedom, originality, adventure, foolishness, travel, carelessness, idealism, youth, spontaneity, lack of commitment, and new beginnings. So we're not too far off. But travel, I didn't get travel, but I like that, because I always like when travel is in the cards for us. You know what I'm saying? I always like seeing new places, doing new things. So that's always cool. Can y'all tell I'm out of breath? Is it just me? Am I overthinking? Feel like airy. But okay, so that's the Fool in the upright. And then in the reverse, it's kind of short, so we'll go ahead and read both. But in the reverse, the Fool would represent recklessness, carelessness, negligence, stupidity, distraction, apathy, irrationality, lack of fun, hope, or faith. I don't usually get that energy. I don't usually get that energy, but I could definitely see that. Like the reckless, I can see that. But that again, that gives me that big risk, like taking big risk or like doing something out of the ordinary, doing something abnormal. So in the upright, in a love and relationship reading, the Fool can indicate. Hold on, let me see. I'm reading from my tablet. Hold on. The Fool can indicate an exciting and spontaneous, but a little fickle. For those in relationships, the Fool indicates being so in love that you can hardly contain your excitement. However, if the person asking the question about the commitment, what? However, if the person asking the question about the commitment, this card linked to the lack of commitment or not being ready for commitment. I don't feel like I don't know about that sentence, so we're gonna skip it. Okay. However, if as a travel card, it can indicate that you will be going on a romantic trip, such as a couple's weekend or a honeymoon. Ooh. Again, I'm getting those aerial vibes where it's like you transition from the one place to another and then, you know what I'm saying? You in a whole new world type shit. Okay, so for those of you that are single, this can be a very good indicator that an impulsive, carefree romance is in the cards, or many romances, if you so choose. The Fool appears, when the Fool appears, prepare for a fun-filled romance, but be careful not to miss out on true love if it comes your way during this time. Okay. And money and career, opportunity knocks. With the Fool in your career, it may be time for you to go start that new job or start your own business that you've been dreaming of. Other people may try to put you off or may not understand what you're doing, but be patient with them and try to make them understand, but do not let them deter you. I don't like trying to make them understand. I ain't trying to make nobody do nothing. It's either you get it or you don't. But that could just be me. That could just be me. That could be the Fool in reverse type shit. But let's see. The Fool indicates big opportunities for advancement. Be clever and research your opportunities and the risk, but don't be afraid to take the plunge. Financially, if you take the chance and work hard, you will make more than you thought that you would. I like that. I like that a lot. In a health reading, the Fool can indicate well for physical health. If you've been ill, it'll indicate vitality and energy. However, it can also indicate being accident prone. So if you get the Fool for health, be extra careful. It could also represent pregnancy as it represents the beginning of a new life. Okay, and then in spirituality, you see legendary time. Hey, welcome in. Saiyan? Oh shit, like Super Saiyan? Or am I saying it wrong? Saiyan? You know what I'm saying? Saiyan? But yeah, the Fool and the spirituality reading can indicate that you are at the beginning of a new spiritual journey, which will lead you to great things. You may be eager to try you may be eager to try different approaches. Allow yourself to do this. Others may not understand the journey you're on, but you must do what is right for you. So I actually really like that. I want to touch on that a little bit because I literally just did a video for the full moon, the full blood moon 999 portal we just had. And that's pretty much what I was getting, where it was just like, you're doing something new, you're on this new path, or you're experimenting with something, or you're being encouraged to, and the people, places, and things around you may not understand that. They may not get that. You may be getting a little bit of pushback, and I feel like it's because we're in this energy. So I'm kind of glad that this card did come out, and I'm getting this refresher on it because I needed that. I don't know about you, but I needed that. Let me see. Yes, Super Saiyan. Hey, gang. That's exactly where I got the name from, Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball. Matter of fact, I need to rewatch it. But I'm gonna wait for my baby to come so we can watch it together, so my kid can grow up to be a Super Saiyan and then know what time it is. Okay. That could just be me. It could just be me. But yeah. I even got the on Amazon, as a super side note, saying, just so that you know, between you and I got this, you know, the little baby on board stickers. Matter of fact, let me show you. Because I have one on my vision board. It looks kind of like this, but it's not like that. It says baby on board, and you see it on like people's cars and stuff. I got one, but it's a Dragon Ball Z one, and it's like baby on board, but it's got Goku on it, and he's like his little baby form with his little Nimbus cloud, and I was like, I gotta have it. I was like, I gotta have it. So when I saw your name, I thought about that and I got excited. So thank you for being here. Don't forget to like the video, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, new beginnings. New beginnings. Let me see. In the reverse. Do I want to read in the reverse? I'm going to read it because it's not that long and I'm not going to keep ignoring red flags. So if you see the Fool in the reverse in a tarot reading, it can indicate, hold on, I didn't read the general. Let me read the general first. So, okay, so in the upright, generally speaking, the Fool can indicate positive changes and new beginnings. If it appears in your readings, it could mean that you're on the verge of a new and exciting, unexpected adventure. We like that. We traveling on our Nimbus clouds and shit, you know what I'm saying? Skirt. Your new adventure will bring you along a new path that may require you to take a leap of faith, but you will grow as a result of this new experience. This new adventure could be a literal new adventure, like traveling to a place that you've never been before, or this change could indicate that, or this could be a change, and it's usually a welcome one, excuse me. While the Fool is generally a positive card, its appearance in a reading can also indicate that you need to take time to look before you leap. If I'm not mistaken, in the original card, for those of you that don't know about tarot, I kind of mention this in every twerking work, but the original tarot deck is called the Rider-Waite tarot deck, and it's pretty much a deck that all tarot decks are based off of. So its original card of the Fool looks like this, where there's this guy, he's on the edge of a cliff. You see the water behind him. He looked like he don't give a fuck. And he is just like, he's just walking off to the edge. And it gives me Alchemist vibes. I don't know if you've ever read that book, The Alchemist, but towards the end, and not to spoil the book, but towards the end, there's a scene where the protagonist has to figure out a way to pretty much do the impossible, is what we'll say. So let's say the impossible for this person, the Fool, is for him to walk on air. So it's going to look like him starting this new journey, him doing this new thing is reckless to other people. Like, nigga, what are you doing? You on the edge of a cliff. You just walking with your fucking dog. Like, you got a knapsack. Like, what are you even gonna do with that knapsack? You don't even got shit in there for real. Like, what you got in there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people be worried about the wrong thing, but it's like you staying focused on, I know what I'm here for. I know what I'm doing. I know what I started. I'm going to finish what I started. And you're just gonna have to watch. You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna have to see the journey. If you don't want to support the journey, you're just gonna have to just watch from the sidelines type shit. But this is the original depiction of the Fool. So if y'all have any interpretations of this particular card, please let me know in the comments. I want to see, I want to hear, because the thing that I love about tarot is just like interpreting art, where it's like you look at a card and you pick up on different things. Like, people see different things, people pick up different messages, and we may not all see the same things, but we may be able to benefit from what one another thinks or what one another sees. You know what I'm saying? So showing this one again, this card is from the Divine Tarot, one of my favorite decks. And again, it gives me Ariel vibes, where she's transitioning from one world to another. You can clearly see that she was a mermaid, or she is a mermaid, and she's kind of basking in the sun. She's basking in, like, you know, just being above the water, you know what I'm saying, above her emotions. Because water to me in tarot, or just in cards in general, represents emotions, like how you feel, how you maneuver situations, you know what I'm saying? And it's like she's above that right now. She's kind of in the air, she's in the clouds type shit. So let's see. Let's look at another deck. The Fool card. So this deck is called the Modern Witch Tarot. And then this one actually resembles the original deck a lot. So I kind of want to pick another one, but just in case, let's see if we can get any other interpretations of the Fool. So many damn cards. Oh my God. I swear, this is my least favorite part of doing twerking work, is going through all of my tarot cards to try to find one card. And I'd be damned if I skipped it. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Can I ask for a random card? So this isn't actually that type of reading. I mean, you can ask, but my response is going to be no, respectfully. But if you do want like a random card reading, try to come back on a Sunday when we do Soul Share Sunday, and I'll usually pull like oracles for people that are there, or I'll pull tarot for people that are there. Yeah, this resembles the original deck. So yeah, please subscribe and then try to come back on a Sunday around the same time, and I'll be able to do that for you. Otherwise, you can get like a personal reading and we can just do like a video call and I'll pull whatever you like. Yes. Yes. Did you not get my text? Did you get my text? Oh, no, I'm not going on the chat. Yeah, that's for you. My bad, y'all. That was my mom. I cooked, so you know, you gotta share when you cook. You know what I'm saying? Well, you don't have to share, but I like to share when I cook. I really like cooking for myself. I cook for myself a lot, but I really don't like to cook for myself because it just feel like I need to be cooking for other people too. Like, I don't know why I be feeling like that. But it also depends on what I'm cooking. Like, if it's something that is like simple, I'll cook that for myself in a heartbeat. But if it's like a big ass meal, because sometimes I'll be wanting a really big ass meal, like something extravagant, and I don't want to pay for it. So I'm good. So let's see. So this is the Fool in the Modern Witch Tarot. And again, it looks very similar to the original deck. Or the original deck, where instead of a man, it's a woman, and she's listening to her little playlist, and she's walking off a fucking cliff. And the Secrets of Paradise Tarot, the Fool is actually referred to as El Bobo, and I think that means fool in Spanish. I don't know. Let me double check. I don't want to give y'all the wrong information. Let me see. Not a reading, just a card. I will come back on Sunday. Please do come back on Sunday. I do hope to see you saying, okay? Because we're here now. Okay? Super Saiyan. Don't forget. Soul Share Sunday. But, okay. See, let me see. Okay, so I'm going to read it from this deck because I actually have the book for this one. So, El Bobo, or the Fool, in this particular deck is inspired by a folkloric character called Juan Bobo, or Juan the Fool. People underestimated his intelligence and his personality. He can be a trickster and sometimes a fool, causing disaster as he tries doing things his own way. However, he is not as foolish as he seems and teaches us valuable life lessons. The meaning of this card. El Bobo is a journey of life. He is initiating a path, but during that meaningful life journey, he can cause distractions that can take you to a completely different outcome. I did not consider that, actually. Because you can start something and get super distracted and then end up somewhere completely different. So that's a good point to make. It is also about taking risks and either jumping off the cliff or choosing not to. Are you jumping on purpose with a plan, or with a plan for how to fall, or are you accidentally jumping and just falling at a high speed? El Bobo is about to go on an adventure. The sun is blessing him, and the donkey is a symbol of suffering. The fact that he is carrying a load means that he is not alone in his journey. Spirit and other beings like guardian angels help carry the weight of our responsibilities in life. Donkeys are also animals of peace. So if you are getting this card during any type of relationship reading, it can mean that two parties are at peace with each other or there is a peaceful environment at the moment. El Bobo is also a representation of Jabaro, who is trying to get to the town to sell his plantains to make some money in order to buy a new dress for his wife, as in the song Lamento Bordicano by Rafael Hernandez. He has taken a break and a breath looking down the cliff to see his destiny. This card can be used as a request protection during a trip to San Rafael Archangel Raphael. It can also be a message to look at your logistics or to evaluate where you're standing right now and have a great journey. I like that they talk about the sun in the background because I definitely did peep that the sun is definitely depicted in each one of these depictions of the Fool. So I like that they mention that like the sun is blessing you, and the sun in tarot is an extreme happiness card. Like every time I get the sun, I think of extreme happiness or extreme joy or like wish fulfillment, like getting everything that you want, everything that you desire. Let me see something. Damn, I thought that book was up here. But let's see. Let's do another one. Speaking of the sun. Magician, stay focused. Death again. Why do I keep being drawn to death? Strength, judgment. The Chariot. The Fool. This is making me a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, because every single one of these has talked about it being a new journey or like doing something new. So I feel like that could come with a lot of anxiety or stress or worry. And that could be, I feel like that could be like with you, or it could be with, you know, people, places, and things that you're involved with. But right now, I feel like I'm picking up on me. So it could just be me, but this could also be you, where you kind of relate to, where it's like you get a little bit nervous. So, okay, so in this Fool depiction, this is called the Out of Hand Tarot. And in this particular depiction, there is a person and they look like they got all their shit and they are about to walk out the door. Another thing I'm noticing is the mountains. I don't think we talked about that in any of these pictures. None of these really have mountains. Well, no, this one does. But the mountains usually give me like a spiritual journey or a spiritual ascension. So moving up, moving on. But yeah, they're about to walk out the house. So it's like, where are you going? Definitely giving that travel, that adventure. They don't really have like a purse or anything, but it still kind of reminds me of the original where they have a dog. See, they have their dog here. And then this kind of reminds me of the knapsack, like having a little bit of stuff that you need to take with you on your new journey, and that you can't take everything with you. Like a lot of times we'll ascend to a new level or we'll move on to a new place and we'll try to take a whole bunch of old shit with us. And that's not really how that works. Like you want to move, like when you move, you want to pack light. Like I'm hearing that Erykah Badu song. I don't remember what it's called, but I'm hearing pack light. What is that? You don't hurt your back. Dragging all in bags like that. Bag lady. Damn, I should know that. But yeah, like that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that energy where it's like you don't want to take too much or you don't want to overpack or overdo it. So in a lot of these pictures, like these people don't have a lot that they're traveling with, if they have anything at all. So that's something I'm noticing. Okay, hold on, my bad. I'm being drawn to their tattoos. I don't know if y'all can see them, but it's like a feather. There's a feather, and then on this side it's like flowers and another feather. And then on one of these ring fingers, one of these, oh, not the ring finger, but the thumb finger, right there is the sun. So again, more of that joy, that optimism. Like, I feel like be excited for this new journey. Be excited to step into the unknown. I don't think any of them really kind of mention that, but or say it in that way. But that's what I'm getting. Like stepping into the unknown, or doing something that maybe you've never done before, or the people, places, and things around you have never done before. Never stepped outside of this box. Never stepped outside of this home or this environment or this friend group or this job, whatever it may be for you. Let's see. I want to do one more. And I'm going to do the Starman Tarot because I actually have the book for this one, so we can see what this particular artist had in mind when it came to the Fool card. Ooh, yes. It didn't even take us that long to get to it. So in this particular deck, what is this? The Starman Tarot, the Fool is referred to as the sacred clown. So peep this guy. And admire this artwork because it's beautiful. But yeah, let's see. Okay, the Starman Tarot. I'm not going to read this whole thing. I might read this whole thing. No reverse for this card. That's interesting. Wait, am I looking at the right card? And I'm not. I'm looking at the Starman. I'm about to say, because there is definitely a reverse for the Fool. Stop playing with him. Okay, boom, the sacred clown. I'm one step ahead of myself. The affirmation for this card is, I laugh at the game of life. The sacred clown, or Heyoka, from the Lakota tradition, knows that nothing we think is actually true. No belief is fixed. As trickster and shaman converge, he probes beneath the veil of normality to reveal the astonishing and unexpected. Indeed, the gap between you and what you have understood to be you. His words are like a lightning bolt, which can pierce the heart. This card depicts the sacred clown, dressed in black and white, dressed in a black and white striped antler hat, grinning mischievously as a burst of flame shoots from his finger. Naked and painted to the waist, he is surrounded by walls of garish graffiti, which appear to be alive, moving strands of hypnotic color bursting with energy. Standing on a path bedecked with sharp-toothed traps of ill-gotten gold, he appears unconcerned that they might cause him injury. An almighty star ball of molten fire glows and puckers close behind, and he is indifferent. He is touched by everything and damaged by nothing. Kind of like that. It's like you feel everything, or you're like aware of everything, but nothing is affecting you, or nothing is like swaying you. Nothing is distracting you, because we used that word earlier. But yeah, I like that. Okay, bro. Because I was about to say, what the fuck is going on in this? What is going on? Okay. He is touched by everything and damaged by nothing. Seeing the cosmic joke, the ultimate illusion where we see limitation, fear, and pain. That's given 8 of Swords. At once, both innocent and dangerous, his fire pokes holes in things that you may take too seriously. He puts a pin into the puffed up balloon of your story and the triumphs and woes of the past, the projected fears of the future, because he understands the primordial energy of nature is beyond good and evil, beyond human ideas of right and wrong. Joy and pain are united, 2 sides of the same coin. For me, no other character so epitomized Bowie as the Heyoka. A rapier-shaped, wise, innocent, the sacred clown. He is an absolute master at piercing reality to expose the absurd. He was never afraid to experiment and discard the design brief when something perverse and unexpected caught our attention. The enlightenment player of the game of life, the contrarian, the challenger of convention, he gave me full permission to risk dancing at the creative edge. Often his visits to our studio would result in howls of laughter, like the time I smuggled a full-sized replica of a bull's head into the studio under the cover of darkness to avoid a media frenzy. Just feel like it's going into a tangent. To a media frenzy and the outrage from animals' rights activists waiting in the wings. They were under the false impression that Bowie had sacrificially had a bull killed for the outside photo shoot. That proactive spirit of the sacred clown travels through each card of the Starman Tarot, twisting things around and turning them on their head. Christ, the sacred clown, mocked orthodoxy. Mocked orthodoxy. Buddha, the sacred clown, mocked ego attachment, while Gandhi mocked money and power. He invites you to risk big, the vibes I was getting, to risk big, that you must risk the sting and bite of life to experience its true wonder. The sacred clown invites you to live in the exciting potential and freedom of each moment. The Heyoka provokes, prods, and startles you out of the hypnotic dance of a monkey mind. He bids you to be aware that you are not the stream of fear and desire endlessly surfacing, but rather the expansive freedom in which these issues appear and disappear. When you say, I, you are referring to your story. Your story is not true. The burdens you have carried so far can be put down because they never belonged to you. Something new awaits you on unexplored paths, so step into life fearlessly. Renew, refresh, and rebirth yourself. You are a child, innocent and free. I'm going to pause for the cause there because that just reminded me of a thought that I was kind of having earlier where it says, hold on, let me go back. You see, your story is not true. No, he bids you to be aware that you are not the stream of fear and desire endlessly surfacing. So I was kind of thinking about that earlier because just to share a little bit of my personal experience with y'all and to make this a little bit more relatable, I was thinking like, damn, okay, I'm getting ready for like baby. I'm getting ready for all of these new things to happen in my life, right? And part of me was like, starting to fear, like on the fear aspect, like starting to fear, like, okay, I'm hearing all these different things about giving birth, like how should I do it, what should I not do, blah blah blah. And then I had to kind of catch myself and to tell myself the narrative that I want to experience, because it's like this and that are true, like dolphin spirit, excuse me, and our what do you call that shit, our spirit animal deck, right? So I'm like, okay, well, all of these things can be true the same way that all of these things cannot be true. It's just, what do I want to be true for me? What do I want to focus on? What do I want to manifest? And I feel like that's where this I is coming from too. Like when you say I, you are referring to your story. So it's like when you are in these I want to say tizzies, or these thoughts of fear or projection, or even positive thoughts, like being aware that whenever you say that you are experiencing something, you are manifesting that for yourself. You are creating that journey, like especially in the full energy. It's like you're taking yourself on that journey, even if it's mentally. But if you know, you know, like everything happens in the mind first. So if you want for certain things to perpetuate or to happen, you continue those thoughts, or you dive deeper in those thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So like if you are like me and you want to have like a 2-push birth, like I know it's possible. I've heard people say this, you know what I'm saying? The same way I've heard people say that they've had or experienced very painful births, very like, you know, traumatizing births, or like births where they had cesareans, like cesarean babies. I was a cesarean baby. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like all of these traumatic things happen, but at the same time, while that is true, it is also true that there are people who have not had those experiences and who've had more positive experiences. And it's like, where do you want to fall on that spectrum? Like, where do you want to be? Or do you want to create something brand new that nobody's ever experienced or nobody's ever heard before? Like, I got a booger on my nose. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what I was getting from that. And then with the desires aspect of it, because it says fears and desires. You are not the stream of fear and desire endlessly surfacing. So like, as far as desires goes, ooh, I don't want to brand that. But as far as desires goes, using that same example of like being a new mom, I'm sitting here like, okay, well, I need to get this. I desire this. Like, I want a new crib. I want a new this. I want a new that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like having to breathe through this endless sea of things that I want and I desire for not only me but for my child. You know what I'm saying? And to allow myself to be grateful for the things that I do have, allow myself to be present and to be here with, again, like where I am and what I have, and to again be grateful for that. Because it's like I could want endlessly. Like right now, I honestly do feel like I have everything I need to start. You know what I'm saying? I might not have everything I need for the entire, you know what I'm saying, a lifespan of my child, and I don't think that most people do. But it's like you get things as you go, or you do things as you go. But a lot of times we'll get kind of caught up in the manifesting and the thinking of the things that we want and we need for the future, that again we're not present, and we're not allowing ourselves to experience where we are now. So where I am now in that particular journey is relaxing. Where I am now is just getting ready to ploop, ploop, hit them 2 pushes, 1 push, no push, fucking just slide out, just holding my baby. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I feel like that's what I want to focus on. That's what I want to be present for. That's what I want to be aware of. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I've gotten everything I need. I've worked through my fears, and I'm continuing to work through my fears, because, you know, these things do keep popping up. Like it says, endlessly surfacing. Like, these desires keep popping up. These fears keep popping up. And it's like every time that they do, because they are inevitable to pop up, to come up in some way, shape, or form, is how do you respond to that? What narrative do you tell yourself? Do you continue to tell yourself the narrative that you told yourself when you first walked out that door? So like in this particular Fool card, let's say this person is going to the store to get some fucking peanut butter and jelly, some bread, peanut butter and jelly. Keep it simple. They're like, okay, I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't got no peanut butter and jelly at home. I'm going to the store, I'm gonna get some peanut butter and jelly. They fuck around, and it's like, you pass all of these other things. You pass all these other distractions on your journey from your house to the store, back to your house, right? And it's like, okay, well, damn, like, I should probably stop at Sonic and get me a milkshake, or I could stop at Chick-fil-A and get me some fries, or, you know, I could stop at my friend's house, or I can go get me some wheat real quick, and, you know what I'm saying? Or I could hit the park. And it's like, no, the original journey, the original thought was to go from here to here. And while, you know, other things may happen along that way, like, God forbid you get a flat tire or something, or like, you know, you may pass accidents. That shit happens to me all the time. It's like you pass all of these distractions, all of these other things. But again, the goal is to get from where you saw yourself when you first started in this full energy to where you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's why the Fool is the beginning and the end, because it's like, they say start with the end in mind, right? And again, everything happens in the mind first. And a lot of these cards, while they're talking about travel and moving and new beginnings and things ending, like, it is also this part, or this idea of, where am I going? What am I doing when I get there? And it's, again, just creating the story, creating the narrative before it actually happens, is what the Fool energy gives me. So again, like, even with this depiction, if you're going to the store, what am I going to the store to get? And then you might fuck around, get to the store, get peanut butter, jelly, bread, butter, fucking chips. Like, I don't know, get all this extra shit. But at least you still got what you originally went there for. And I feel like that's what's important. So, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that and to mention that because that's something that came up for me. But, okay, so this card in the reversed indicates feeling trapped by the burden of responsibilities and the past. There is a danger of acting rashly with little regard to other people's suffering. While it is appropriate to follow the heart and a true calling, it is immature to run away from one's obligations. Unfinished business will follow you around. So take stock despite any impatience and longing for adventure. The power to act rather than to react. Settle your accounts, research options, and present your position so that it has some chance of being understood. I like that too. Not being burdened with responsibilities. And that just brings me back to the thoughts like, your perception is everything. Like, you could see something as a burden, like something that you're responsible for as a burden, or you could see it as a challenge. You could see it as a stepping stone. You could see it as something that is intended for you to grow or to be better or to do better or to just get where the fuck you want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really all depends on you and your perception, your thoughts. And that's what the Fool is kind of giving me. It's like, where is your mind when you start? Where is your mind when you ended a cycle? Where was your mind when you ended a cycle? And where do you want to go with your mind from there? You know what I'm saying? So, in general, this card means to take a leap of faith and be free, step out of the void, embrace your inexperiences, live in your potential, explore the world. And in the reversed, feeling restrained, acting rashly, upsetting others, staying back to unblock yourself from the changes you face. No, stay back, seek to unblock yourself from the changes you face. So, yeah, I'm going to leave that there. That is what I have for us for this twerking work session. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you learned something new. If so, please make sure to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any new videos. Twerking work is on Thursdays at 8. Shadow Dance Celebration is on Fridays at 8. And Soul Share Sunday is on Sundays. I want to say at 6. I want to start it back early. But for now, I'm going to still say it's 8 so that everything is kind of uniform and consistent, going live around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me make sure I say that part because there are people all over the world that be watching these videos. And shout out to y'all. Like, make sure in the comments you drop where you're from, because that's been kind of cool to see where everybody's been from. Like, yeah. But that's a different story. So, if you haven't already, please check out Patreon to see all my behind the scenes on all the tarot decks and the oracle decks that I create. Check out shadowtwerktarot.com if you want to purchase any of those oracle decks or tarot decks, or if you want a personal reading, hit me up. And yeah, just follow me on all social media at Shadow Twerk Tarot. So I think that was everything. I think that's everything. So yeah, until next time, you are truly legendary. I love you, and I'm gonna see you later. Gotta take a shit.